Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here. In this video, I want to show you how to work with elements in vector. So there are a lot of pre-designed elements and some of them are pretty cool. I mean, you can change the colors, and to a limit you can make changes to them, and I'll explain, especially when there's compound paths that are associated with these elements. So if you go right here and you click here, you're going to get this thing called elements. Okay, so I put a few of them here, and all you basically do is you go right in here and you pick the elements that you want. So let's say that I want an arrow, and all you do is click on the arrow. You can click and drag, or you can click on it and just click once and it'll give you a default size, or you can click and drag and will create it proportionately to the size that they have set these things. So let me show you a few things that you might want to know about these things. So some of them are grouped, and then some of them have compound paths, and compound paths are a little difficult to explain, but unless if you were in the graphic industry and understand Adobe Illustrator and programs like that, Corel Draw, InDesign, or even Word actually, there's this things called compound paths. We're not going to go over all of that. I want to show you some of the tricks you can do when you are you're wanting to alter these elements that they give you. So if I went in here, all these elements, I went in through here and just put a few of them from this list, right? So you can also do a search for like CHRIST. You see Christmas, and then you can hit all. Now I didn't find none for Halloween. I didn't see none for a bunch of other holidays. There are a few of them, but you can expand the selection they have by whenever you see what this is festivals. Whenever you see maybe 4 of them and you see this little thing says all, if you click on that, it gives you additional elements. So I thought I'd show you that part. Now let's get to editing these things. So when I drew it, it came in like this wreath, right? So if I try to change the color, see, it doesn't do nothing, because these things are not, they're not just grouped, but they also have compound paths on some of them. Now let me show you how to get around that. I'm breaking this program down without actually getting any training. There are some few YouTube videos, but I can't find the videos that I'm trying to find when it comes to compound paths and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and break this one down where we can alter the color, and I'll even show you how to edit the design of a compound path. I don't know how to break it apart, but I found, by trial and error, I found how to do certain things. For instance, if I wanted to change the color, if I hit Control U, that's going to break this down into a bunch of different elements. Those elements are several different kinds of groups. Okay, so if I deselect and grab the first one, if I move this still is an element, and I cannot ungroup that element. So I'm going to hit Control U again, and you see nothing happens. It doesn't furtherly break it down into different sections, right? Now I can go in here and change the color of it. Okay, and I could delete some of this stuff if I wanted to. For instance, let's say that I didn't want this, all I wanted was this area, but I wanted to delete this areas. Now this is a little time consuming, and the only way that I've figured this so far is by doing this. So when you have a compound path, which I believe this is, you double click on the item, right? And if you enlarge the area real uh, big, you have to select this little square dots. Okay, so what I'm going to do, remember, look, we have this elements here, and I'm going to delete this one. It's not like I can lasso it, select this area, and delete it. Basically, what I've found, I can hold my control key and start select. Oops, you got to be real careful too. Start selecting these little boxes, right? And you got to be real careful because you got to click right in the center of those little boxes, and it's intricate doing this. So I'll select them all. Right now, if I hit delete, you see now it's gone. So you would actually have to do that to the rest of those elements. So let's go ahead and do a few of them. Remember, I click on the first one, hold my control key, and start selecting them. Sometimes you might delete it and have a few of them left. So you just continue holding your control key until you select them all, delete them, and there's still another one right there, right? So you can go ahead and delete that. Now I'll do this other two real quick here, and so there's one there, one there, there. Oops! If you accidentally deselect, then it will deselect everything. So if you're having problems where you select a few of them and you deselect, then go ahead and just delete a few at a time. That way you don't have to start all over. Like, okay, so boom. Now, while I have this one selected, all I have to do is just continue. So, oops, you see? So you got to click right in the center of that square. And it is pretty intricate doing this. So let's do, hopefully I don't deselect some. Okay, bingo. Delete, Control Z, Control 0 will fit in. And let's say I wanted to put this back into its position, then you would go in here and put it in its position. You can use your arrow keys to try to put it into the position, or you can enlarge it real large and try to just position it as, you see, there it is right there. Control 0, and then you would have it back into the position. Now, something happened here whenever we were working with the elements. You could actually fix that if you wanted to, right? So if you would go in here and enlarge this area, you double click here. If you click on this, you have your anchor points here. You can modify this. Now you saw here, I'm going to hit Control Z. This area started changing. So if I hit my control key, I can just control this area down here. Okay. And additionally, I can add some points by clicking on there, then moving those points, and then holding my holding my control key. Oh, yeah, it's kind of hard to work on these things when it's small. You hold your control key, and it's only going to work this area on this side. So you see how I can change that. Now I'm going to hold my control key. It's only going to work on this left hand side. So I could put it right there, click here at another point, hold my control key, and then move this, click on it, or actually, let's say at another point, and now it would be a little time consuming, but if this was the only problem you had, then you could just keep on doing this until you achieve your goal. So we're just going to leave it there. I just wanted to show you what you can do. Remember, when working with these elements, if it's a compound path, you can select everything. But if it's a group, you can't. I'm going to click here. See, I can't change the color of this thing, right? But I'm going to click on it, hit Control U. Then I'm going to enlarge this area. So each one of these things now are a bunch of different compound paths. Let me see. This is this one here. So I could go in here and change the color of that one. So let me see. Red's not being used. Or let me see what. Let's try purple. Okay, you can change that color. And let's say that you were happy with that color, and every time you try to select a different one, if you were having problems selecting this, which I'm not, but let's say you were, every time you selected this, every time you tried to select this one would come in. All you have to do while you have this thing selected is hit H to hide it. Then you could reach and get the one that you want to select. Then you can go ahead and change the color. Same thing. Let's say that you couldn't get a hold of the yellow, you could hide that other one, or you can go in here and change that. Now, to get all your elements back, all you have to hit is your Shift H, and all your items would come back. Let me look at my notes. Working on elements, ungrouping, editing elements, changing the color of an element, working with compound paths, deleting sections of a compound path. I showed you that. So that's all I wanted to show you on this. There's several. Let me delete everything. Uh, there's a lot of different kinds. Like you got arrows. You only see 6. You can click on all and get different arrows in each one of them. You can click and drag, or you can click and just click once and it'll give you a default size. And you see, if I use the corner ones, it'll proportionately enlarge and reduce the element. Or if you click the centers of them, it will stretch it this way, or you can stretch it, stretch it that way. So that's, and again, remember, this is a compound path that I don't know how to break apart at this point yet. So I'm going to hit Control U. You see, it doesn't let me do nothing, but I could go in here and alter it by double clicking and then highlighting little, some of these little squares and click, 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 and delete. Okay, yeah, but you have to play with it. Anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to show you about elements. That's all I know about it. I got some other videos that shows a bunch of other things about vector. It's actually, you go to vectr.com and it's a free program. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.